Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you clicked on this wonderful program we have in store for you. We appreciate you and we thank you. How you doing, America? How you doing, world? We international, baby. We online, the World Wide Web. We still saying WWW out here. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Book of Man. It is I, the guy, Jay Sims, the Lion. I will be your host this afternoon or whatever time. Hey, hope you enjoy speaking to me and seeing me. And see, I'm still here. And of course, I have with me my co-host and the brains behind this operation, Doc. How you doing this morning, Doc?
Pretty good, man. I'm still alive too. So hey, I'm blessed to see that. But it's always good to be on with you, man. I mean, we have good conversation, good way to hash things out, and it's a good way to kind of share what we all really thinking, but never really say.
That's right. We got some things in our mind. We keep to ourselves. We're trying to get them out. We want to hear you. We want to hear from y'all. We want to hear how you feel. Like, share, comment, agree, disagree, whatever. We want to hear how you feel about what we're saying. You know, let us know. Let us know what we can do better. Let us know what we can do different. We are here for the criticism, praise, and all of that. We want it all. Let us know. We got comments down there. Make comments. Talk trash. Talk positive. It's all there for you. You know, reach out to us. Put your emails and all that good stuff. We'll get back with you. Book of Man. We looking out for you.
All right. So I know we usually have a topic and maybe a video or something, but no video today. But I want to go back to something we talked about before.
All right.
And I'll link that video up above so you can revisit what was originally said. But we had a conversation about trades and young men learning trades and how they were influenced to take college routes instead of trade routes. So I want to revisit that a little bit. So what's your ideas on that? Because I know you said a little bit earlier, but let's dig more into it.
Okay, first off, I don't think either avenue is incorrect. You have to build some kind of skill set beyond high school. Yeah. I just feel people are being overly pushed to the college side without enough consideration for the trade side because there's a lot of folks running around here with college degrees. I'm making more money than them. I don't have one yet. There's a lot of people out here got college degrees sitting at the house. Because it not only matters that you have the degree, it matters what kind of degree you have. Now, those tradesmen, the tradesmen getting to the money.
Yeah.
You know, you got your HVAC, your plumbing, your welding, your mechanical trades, your engineering trades, aircraft mechanics. All of those guys making $30+ an hour. Do the math. That's base. 40 hours a week. You making $60,000.
Yeah.
So that's base 40 hours a week. And we all know nobody gets to work 40 hours. We all putting in 50+. That 40 hours that's part-time to me.
Okay.
40 hours is part-time. Cute. I had a part-time job once too. That's part-time. If you getting 40, okay,
hey,
cool.
But you ain't doing it.
You got a nice little part-time job. Awesome. You know, I respect that. Nobody I know get 40 hours. Everybody I know working 50+. That's what we do out here. If we get a whole weekend, we surprised. I got the whole weekend? The whole thing. I'm off the whole weekend.
Oh, man,
boy. Man, I ain't got to call it. I ain't got to be on the phone and checking on my people or nothing. I just get to be off.
This could be at home.
So, and I say that, you know, I'm playing and all that, but it's serious. Most men, and this is a men's show. That's who we're talking about. Most men that I know work 40+. The 40 is, you know, we slow. Things that fell apart. We working 40 hours. Most people I know working 50 to 55, 60 hours a week, 10 to 12-hour days. That's almost standard.
Right.
But if you throw in travel time and prep and all of that, we all doing more than 40 anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm a huge fan of work from home, because you eliminate that hassle. Anybody that can work from home, any company that can work from home, you are winning right now.
Look, I tell you what, I worked from home. I'm an educator.
Right.
And I worked from home last year, the whole school year I was at home. It was the best thing ever. I came here in the studio. I taught my kids from here.
Right.
And it was working. It was working. A lot of people had a lot of things to say about virtual school, but I just say they wasn't doing it right. It was good.
Now, Doc, that's a whole subject matter I definitely want to get into with you, but I don't want to do it today because we won't get off of it.
Okay.
As a parent, I definitely want to have a conversation about the virtual school and get a teacher's opinion, educator's opinion on it. And what y'all really feel about it. And most importantly, how do you feel about the overall success of the children as a result of the virtual? Now that you're back in the school, do you see, what do you see as the overall result? But we're going to do that. Let's table that. We can go all day on that.
Let's come back to it. Let's come back to it.
So we're going to jump back, but that's a good one. We're going to talk about that. And I'm sure there's a lot of parents want to hear about that one. But
definitely.
Oh, yeah. So let's stay where we at. Let's stay focused, stay on task.
All right, we here. I ain't gonna say nothing else no more. That ain't about. I'm saying, I'm all over the place, man. But I think about so many things.
That's a good one, though, Doc.
Oh, I know it. Because I have my own opinions, and my wife would tell you some same things because she saw me in here with those kids. Oh, see, I'm doing it again. All right, I'm gonna get back to it. So this is what I was thinking about with those trades.
Okay.
Because I'm facing this thing right now. Daughter's about to graduate. Son is in 9th grade. So we start early, talking about what they want to be, what they want to do later on. So that way, when they get to graduate, they've had 4, 5, 6 years to kind of explore it and think about it, because that's what the other people do with their children. Because I can remember first graduating from high school, I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what to do.
Nope.
So my kid's not having that. But what I want to say about trades, I would agree with you. I say that school counselors and teachers, when we was in school, the big push was college track. Everybody said college track. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it did lead to overabundance of people with bachelor degrees. And at this time, bachelor's degrees is the equivalent of a high school diploma.
It doesn't do anything at this point, like you said, because everybody got one. If you can't combine it with something else.
Yep. That's true. But this is the part I want to look at, though. I think we need to take a closer look. Because I'm not going to say trades is for everybody the same way that college not for everybody.
Agreed.
And I think it takes us taking a closer look at our children to see what fits them.
Right. And being honest with ourselves.
Exactly. Not everybody built for college, but what if you got this kid that's insanely brilliant, but you shooing him or her away from college? And also, here's the second part. We need to take time to pick apart this college thing. So if a child decides to go to college, you have to help them navigate this whole thing. Because too many times I think what's been stuck in our minds and what's been taught to us is you're 18, kick out, you on your own.
Unfortunately.
We can't do that. We can't.
Not in today's world. It costs too much. It costs too much to just get all your own stuff. Okay, well let's talk about the major options. You know, you got a kid in high school. They can go to college.
Yep.
They can get a trade. They can go to the military. Let's not forget about the military. They can go into the workforce.
Yep.
Now nobody should, at this point, going straight into the workforce should be the last option in my opinion.
Well, let me tell you this. I with my son, 14 years old. I had this conversation with him last week. And I told him, if he decides to get a job, it's no fast food. You're not working at no department store, movie theater, GameStop. You can't do that. You got to be making at least $20 an hour. So you better go down there to the ports and talk to your goddaddy about driving a jockey truck. I'm laying it out for you.
I think you got to be 21 for that.
Yep. Oh, well then. He gonna have to pick something else then.
That's why I say going straight to work is not a good thing, because for boys, especially black boys, that 18 to 21 is when they get in the most trouble.
Yeah.
And if you it's hard to get, quote unquote, a good job, at age 18.
Mm-hmm.
So most of these guys are working, like you say, retail, fast food. You might have a couple of little warehouse dudes or whatever. That's what I did. I went to that warehouse. So,
me too.
Yeah. So, you might have a couple people doing that, but for the most part, they don't have what people would call real jobs. And they got too much, and which means you had that little back after school job when you was in school. So you had all day in school. Then you went and worked for 4-5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You had just your day full. Now you're working 5, 6, 8 hours because they don't want to get no overtime out of those places.
Well, you know what that means? You know what that means then? You need to get another one. Yeah. Because
too much time on your hands.
Now he can stay here while he working 2 jobs. He can stay.
Right.
But he need to be making enough so if he needed to move out, he'll be able to take care of himself.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to stress. And my son has another option because his granddad is a wizard with small engine repair.
Right.
So I said, you better go over there and hang out with him.
Ooh.
And learn it.
Yep.
You can learn that. You could do this, go to college, but you have to decide. But I'm going to guide him along, or my wife and I, we're going to guide him along each step, but he gets the ultimate decision. So,
okay, so, all right, you say his granddad, your father. Okay, well, check this out. So they told us, our generation, go to school, go to college.
Yep.
By virtue of that, they've removed a lot of the tradesmen out of the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Because we all went to college or thought we needed to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So these kids aren't growing up seeing the tradesmen like they had before.
Yeah.
They growing up seeing guys like you and myself who went to college track and went straight to work. Mm-hmm. And fortunately for me, I was able to push myself, and I still made it to the management that I would have made it with the college degree. I work side by side with folks. I got college degrees and I make more money than them.
Uh-huh.
So it's more than one way to skin this goose.
That's true.
But I definitely did it the harder way. I could have did this easy. And I should be probably making $20,000 more than what I am if I had gotten a degree. That's what the numbers say. The numbers say at my age, with a degree, with the years of experience I have, I should be making about $15,000 more than what I make.
Yeah.
And I make decent money.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that I could have went and did it. But I think one of the things we have to do, men like us who maybe, didn't do the trade route, we need to make our sons, hey man, this is my friend, he a plumber. You need to go work with him for 2-3 weeks for this summer.
Just try
this my friend, he's a welder. You need to go hang out with him.
Yep.
For a few weeks. He's gonna show you some things, mechanic work, all that kind of stuff, so these kids know.
And that's what I was getting to. My whole thing with that is we have to learn our kids and we got to look at them and see what fit them best. Because I'm not gonna lie, for me, having a trade job wouldn't work. I would feel like I'm in prison.
Okay.
Even if I was making a lot of money, I wouldn't be happy with it.
Right.
Because I'm a thinker. I sift through things. You talked about college degrees. I got enough college degrees for me and you.
Right.
For both of us. And I do it because I enjoy it.
Right.
And if I was not in an environment where I could think, reason, and go through stuff, I would feel like I'm in prison.
Right.
And
you found out what worked. But see, you went to work, and then you realized, I'm in a box here, I can't do it. And you went and got you some education and expanded to where you are now. And that's part of life, and that's part of, and like you say, that's incumbent upon us as parents to pay attention to our kids. Also, rather than having to wait till we're adults to explore what we like and don't like, give them opportunity to do it as kids.
Do it early. Yes.
And I used to say I worked at a place, and you know what I am? I worked at a place called Dollar Tree Distribution Center. I hated it.
Uh-huh.
I said, you know what they should do? They should take kids, young men going into their junior year of high school, and let them come work at Dollar Tree for the summer. I bet you when they go back to school, that next year, they'll have a different appreciation for opportunity. I'm gonna do something. I might go to college, I might get a trade, but I ain't going back in there because you tell them, hey, look here, you don't act right, you play around, this was waiting for you.
Look, hey,
we always hire.
Look, Doc wasn't always Doc.
Right.
I've been there. and you in that trailer.
Oh man.
And it's in the summer, and the sides of the trailer 120 degrees.
Can't
so
touch
you in a 20-foot. you burning the sides of your arms, can't breathe because you got Chinese dust in there.
All the dust in there.
I mean, like, it would be like cans and stuff in there with languages on it I didn't even understand.
Yes.
I mean,
that's
bro, I've seen like animals, like funny looking frogs. I got a picture, a funny looking frog I never saw before was in a container of tires.
Right. That's why I said you take that 15, 16-year-old boy, you drop him in there for the summer.
Look,
watch it change his mind.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, and this is when I knew that stuff wasn't for me. So I was working at the distribution center of one of the largest home improvement companies in the United States. They orange and white. They orange and white.
We ain't gonna talk bad about nobody.
So I was in there, and I had to be about 20 years old. I was still in college. So I was working this job. I was making like $12 an hour, and this was like 1999. So for me, making $12 an hour, $13 an hour, that's big money back then. So they would hand me these containers. They'd say, Doc, unload this trailer of mini blinds.
Yep.
And I was hitting it hard as I could, and they kept saying I was going too slow. What?
Hey, production. You are
I couldn't do it.
You are listen, you are a part of a whole, and I need so many per hour out you.
Yeah.
I need them. I don't, to make my numbers as a manager, I need them hours. I need that production out you, bro. Get it to me now.
But let me flip it though, because I don't know, some years ago, I was the assistant general manager for the number 3 tire manufacturer in the world.
Okay.
I worked in this warehouse with these fellas. So now I was on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not interface directly with the workers, but I interfaced with the owners of both companies.
Right.
And I saw what happened. So I was better equipped to handle that than unloading the trailer.
Right.
And what college did for me is allow me to understand the inner workings of business and how it works and why people say the things that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And the good part, and I'm coming full circle about the whole college thing, is that it does teach you a lot of things. How to think critically, how to read things, how to work on deadlines, how to express yourself in a written manner. It does all of those things. So it is important, but if you're not built for it, and that's why I'm saying we need to know our kids. We need to, too many of us don't take time to know our kids.
I don't know if we need to know our kids as we need to help them know themselves.
Oh, you hit it. You hit it right there.
I think we need to help them know themselves so they can say, you know what? I'll give you an example. A woman I'm seeing now, her daughter got ready to graduate high school, early college prep, all of that. She came to her mom and said, Mama, I do not want to go to school. I'm burnt out. I'm going to the military. She's going off in the Air Force and she's doing quite well for herself. Investing in Bitcoin and all kind of other stuff, making a killing out here. Off her Air Force money. It's nice, steady. Yeah. She learning a skill. I think she's military police. She learning a skill that she can use later. She want to work for the FBI in her future. Like, you could have went to college and ended up working for the FBI, but she said, I'm gonna go to the Air Force. My goal is to get to the FBI. I want to get there, but I know I'm burnt out from school. She learned herself. But also,
clapping for the young lady. Clapping for the young lady. Love that.
Give it up for her. She had a mother that introduced her to a lot of different things and a lot of different options. She grew up in a household with a master's educated mother. And at the time, her stepfather was a military man. So just in that, she had 2 big options. I can go college route like my mama did, or I can go military route like my stepfather did, or whatever. We all have, it's what we see. And we haven't taken the time to expose these kids to enough. We on these.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question. Here go my question. Because this is hooked to something that happened last week. I'm gonna ask the question. I'm gonna tell you a quick story, and then I'm gonna let you respond.
Okay.
Whose responsibility is that? Think about it. So here's what happened. There was a student, and this is true, real life. student called parent and said, your student, your child is failing everything. He is not trying. He is not doing, he won't read. He won't do any work, won't do anything. We've thrown every accommodation, everything we can at him. He just won't do it. And you know what the parent said? That's your job. And they was asking her to help him read at home, help him do math facts at home for a little bit of time. But that's the teacher job. So back to my question, whose responsibility is it to expose our kids to the things you talked about?
Us. It's our responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility. It's absolutely on us. And we have to take a more active effort. Like I say, a lot of us, we go and we work all day.
Yep.
And we come home, all we want to do is, man, it was a tough day.
Yeah.
But that's not helping our kids. They had a tough day at school too.
Oh, you would not believe, but put a pin in that, because when we have our talk about virtual school, this gonna come back up.
Right. I know. So
it's gonna come back up.
And we have to take some time to dedicate. You have to, look at your, like you say, get to know your children. You gotta look at your child and look at what they invest their time and energy in, as far as what are they watching on social media?
Yeah.
Are they physical people, or
yes,
are they introvert, extrovert? Do they have friends, and do they care to maintain friendships and relationships? Or do they exist almost virtually, entirely virtually in the virtual world? They go to school, but outside of that, they all, my son, he a gamer.
My son do both.
Yeah,
virtual school still and that.
But he love basketball and sports. He talking about he want to play football now. He didn't want to play before, but now he want to play.
Okay.
So, I think you got to try to expose your kids to as many different things as possible, and as many different personalities as possible. Positive personalities. You could be the best father in the world the way you were father. But your son could have a coach, or, an educator, or a mentor, or whomever, that he's like, you know what? I love my dad, but I want to live like this guy.
Yeah.
I love my dad, and I appreciate how I was brought up and the sacrifices my father made for me, but I like the way this guy over here lives. And I'm gonna check that out. And you got to be able to step back as a father and say, you know what? That's a good way to live.
Yes. I'm fine with that.
Right. I think our ego get in the way sometimes as parents. We want to be the one to control and decide everything for our kids. But sometimes they got enough sense, especially when they get teenage age, to say, man, you know what? Yeah, my dad, okay, my dad's an educator. But Mr. Johnson over here was in the military for 20 years. Yeah. And now he, come up here and help us at the school with stuff, but he got a check for the rest of his life, and he got all these great stories about his time in the military. I think I'm gonna mess with that. Yeah. And that's a good thing. But then he might see, he might see somebody like C. Wright. He might see C. Wright living good. He driving trucks.
Yeah, you might like that.
And he don't have to. He get to be on the road and see new places and meet new people. I like that. I like that idea. But we got to make sure we give our boys, especially our boys, opportunities to see all of this stuff.
And that's 100% true, man. I mean, because that's the limiting factor.
Right.
Kids don't get to see enough.
We don't
expose them enough. And that linked back to, again, the whole college versus trade thing. Like you said, they need to see how people live doing trades and know whether it's for him or not. Because the one thing about having a trade, if it's in a needed field and you're good at what you do, you can make good money doing it. But you got to work all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to be dirty. You're going to be out in the elements. I mean, it come with a price.
Well, it all depends on the trade, first and foremost. It depends on the trade. True. But also, yeah, you're right. But the jobs that come with all of that stuff pay the best.
But I do want to say that I'm not down in that. It may sound like it, but I'm not. But I want to be realistic so our children to know what to expect. When I talked to my son, I said, okay, if you do this, this is what comes with it. If you decide to go to college, then you're going to be in school a long time. I mean, that's just it. because you can do those 4 years and that don't get you nowhere. You're gonna have to do at least 6 to 8.
Yep.
To do, and that's master doctor or specialist or a certification, because believe it or not, I mean, IT is a certification. You could do that too.
Right. Exactly. It's some trades and certifications you can get that ain't got nothing to do with working outside.
That's right. But there are, but what
you can go get a data analyst. You can go get a data analyst certificate, and that's a trade.
Yeah.
And go straight to work. Medical coding and billing, that's a trade.
That's true.
So, everything not necessarily. However, the ones that got the biggest dollar sign attached to them is often the dirty work.
That's right.
Like a longshoreman. A longshoreman is a trade.
It is.
Them boys see 6 figures.
Easy.
So, and they work outside in the rain, on the boat, whatever. It is what it is.
That's right.
But if you're gonna get to 6 figures, you putting in hours and you busting your behind anyway.
That's true. Because with the degreed people, it's gonna be trade-offs come with everything. Trade-offs with everything. And if you are going to college, your trade-off is that you have to devote your free time to learning.
Yes.
You have to do that. My wife tell me, I can't wait to get my husband back because I devote my free time to learning, to make something out of it. I mean, it opens a different set of doors, but you still have to know what fits you.
Correct.
And like when my son, when I gave him all those options, he was like, yeah, I want to do this, but yeah, I don't want to have to deal with that. I mean, and that was realistic.
Right.
And we have to be realistic.
That's another reason why you have to, like we say, continue to introduce your kids to more and more stuff, more and more things. If you can get them an actual opportunity to put their hands on some stuff, that's even better. They can really see what it is, what they like, what they don't like, and have an opportunity to at least step out there at 18 working towards some kind of goal. I think that's one of the biggest issues.
Yeah.
People kind of step out of high school with no goal. We don't expect you to have it all figured out, but at least some goal or some intention for your life. Yeah. Look, I know I don't want to go to school. I know I don't want to go in the military. I also know I don't want to be broke.
Yeah.
I want to be of use. I want to be of use to the world and to my family, to everybody around me. And I want to be a stand-up guy, and I want to have something in life. I better figure out what skill I can go. I could take myself down to Savannah Tech or Voltech or Atlanta Metro, wherever you living at. Take myself down there, like the film industry right now.
Oh, it's booming.
Right here in Atlanta, you can go right up here. And I almost did this during COVID and all of that. And I almost regret that I didn't. But I ended up where I am right now, so it worked out for me, which is still close to the movie industry. But that's not here nor there. You can go up there. That course is like 6 months, and they guarantee you a job. They guarantee you, and then you get registered with the Georgia Film Institute, and you on the call list for the 8,000 productions that's going on in the Atlanta metro area.
I want to spur off of that, what you just said. You show up, finish the course, and you're on the list.
You're on the list.
So
guarantee work.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue that I've been told by people, not in that industry, but professional people that I've observed myself, is that our children coming out of school don't have soft skills.
Agreed.
They can't communicate. They can't come to work on time. They don't do any of that. And then combined, I spoke to a gentleman who sits on a board of educators and business CEOs in the area. And the problem that the businesses are having is that when the kids come to work, they are mad because they don't make $100,000 a year. They expect to make all this money coming out. They don't want to come to work on time, and they don't have a work ethic.
Okay. Well,
so
go ahead.
How do we teach them that? Go ahead.
Okay. The first thing, that's expectations. What we're talking about is setting expectations. That is the responsibility of parents and the responsibility in some regard of the educators in whatever field or college or trade, wherever they're going to. Hey, look, this is how it's going to work. cool. We're glad you're here. Let me explain to you how this is going to work. You know, yes, kids have no soft skills. I interview people weekly, all the time for jobs at the company I work for. I have kids, men, boys show up in basketball shorts for job interviews. T-shirts.
Yeah.
Tennis shoes, basketball shorts. I'm like, I don't take the interview serious. And honestly, I sit there like, I go through the interview, I ask the questions, and I don't take them serious. And sometimes, because oftentimes it's young black men, I try to hit them. You know, I try to be too much because I'm at work. I got to stay professional. But I tell them, you know, hey, I ask questions like, did you go and do an application and they sent you straight? Like sometimes it comes through the temp service. Did you go do an application at the temp service and they sent you straight here? No, I knew I had this interview yesterday. Okay. I don't really care to speak to them no more. Because I can almost give it to you if you didn't know. I asked this one kid, he came in and I just asked him through the interview. We talked and I said, do you own a button-up shirt? He said, no. I said, you don't have any shirts that button up and down, that you tuck in your clothes and wear a belt with your pants and all of that. No. That's his parents' fault.
Yeah.
That's mama and daddy fault. Whatever that setup is, I don't care what the setup is. I don't care who house he grew up in. I don't care they together. None of that's relevant. That is mama and daddy fault. That young man came to a job interview. I think he was 20 years old.
Yeah.
On his resume wasn't nothing but fast food. He literally said in the interview, hey man, you know, I came out of high school. I started working here as well, working in high school, and I'm just tired of doing that type of work, and I want to do something different, and I want to learn a different thing. I said, okay, this is what we do here. And he came in the interview with shorts and a t-shirt, with shorts, not basketball shorts, but like regular shorts and a t-shirt on.
Yeah.
And I just asked him, I said, okay, you want to do, I said, well, let me ask you this, young man. Do you own pants? Straight, I said, do you own a pair of pants?
Probably don't.
I was like, he's like, jeans? I'm like, no, a pair of pants. Like what I actually had on some slacks, like these, like some slacks like this. He was like, yeah, I got a couple of pairs. I said, okay, but do you own a button-up shirt? Not like I had I had a little, you know, I had a polo shirt on. Right. I said, not a polo shirt like this, but a button-up shirt. Like all the way up. He's like, no, I don't even own a button-up shirt. I said, you need to go purchase you one of those. You need
go to Goodwill, something $2.
No. He can go to the store. He the stuff he was dressed in was designer name stuff.
Oh,
it was just not stuff for work.
Never mind. I recant that statement.
Yeah, I said you can go to the store, buy you a shirt, and anywhere you go to, you need to be. That's how you need to wear a button-up shirt, a blue, gray, white color, and a pair of slacks, black, blue, khaki. And that's how you need to show up at your interviews. Now, you don't have enough experience. We're very busy right now. We don't have the time to train somebody from your level to where we need you to be effective during the middle of our busy rush. But if you come back, end of the year, the winter time, if we're still hiring, come back and see me. Because we're going to start slowing down in December because the movie industry kind of goes on hiatus for the holidays.
Right.
I might can give them a job then, but at that particular point, I couldn't give them a job. I have time to train somebody with no warehouse experience. But the fact that he showed up like that, you don't even know how to go get a job.
Exactly.
So yes, we gotta fix. We gotta help our kids get exposed more so they have some kind of direction.
That's
it. They had no direction. And two, we gotta teach them how to execute when the opportunity arrives.
Yeah.
We don't teach our kids. We don't raise children. We maintain them.
Oh, you said a whole bunch there.
We're not raising children. We're maintaining children. And people out here wanting a prize for that.
Yeah. I mean, I see them daily. And they are more serious about their kids when they're young, but when they start getting into double digits, everything starts to decline. But
and all they're doing is maintaining them. They get them till they old enough where they don't have to worry about them so much.
Oh yeah, because they leave them home.
Yeah,
but they'll take them to football, but they won't read with them.
No,
they won't show them.
They take them to football because they can drop them off to that coach.
Yeah,
that's all that is. That's additional babysitter where you can pay $100 at the beginning of the year one time, and you got your week. You got a weekend. You got one day on the weekend, and you got 3 nights a week with a kid or somebody else, and they ain't cost you nothing but $100.
That's true.
$200. That's what that is. That's free childcare.
I
can drop them off. I got 2 hours. I can go to the bar and drink.
That's what school is. They go to the Mexican restaurant and drink margaritas out of the big cup.
Right.
That's
so
what they do.
Let's get back on the subject.
All right. So
we're gonna say trade school, college, military. I think they all fairly even, and you can agree you can get success from all of them.
Yeah, I agree, and I say to the reason why I brought it up is because I want people to talk to their kids more.
Yep.
Figure them out, see what they like, what they don't like, and then guide them. Don't just put them out the house like you got to go. Guide them along.
They're not ready anyway. 18, 19, 20, they're not ready.
Well, but what if the person that could cure cancer is in the next room across from you, but you letting them waste away?
Yep.
You letting them waste away. Or, what if the person that can cure cancer made a different choice? And I mean, It's not a bad thing, but they couldn't reach the top of their potential because they made a different choice. And that's up to you.
Yep. You're right. So we got to expose our kids to more.
Mm-hmm.
Men, fellas, expose your kids as much as you can. Open the world up for them.
Yeah.
We treat the world like it's a small place. It's a very big place with a lot of opportunity and a lot of different things you can do. Open the world up to them. A child should know more than 5 or 6 professions. They should know about 50 to 75 professions coming out of high school they can play with and have interest in. Put some round numbers on it. Teach them some
I know we wrapping this up, but even the small things. So yeah, when you said men and dads do that, I'm going to say it too. There are kids that live in our city, and we live about 20 miles from the beach.
Mm-hmm.
But less than that, it's kids that never been there, ever. I mean, you like 10 years old and never been to the beach in the city in which you live in, that it takes you 30 minutes to drive there. Drive them out there. Little things. I'm reminded of the Ice Cube song. My world is a 10-block radius.
Right.
Thinking every other hood is the shadiest.
Sad.
That's where we at. And that circles back to this talk about exposing your children to different trades, exposing them to colleges. I start taking my daughter to colleges visits when she was in 9th grade.
Exactly.
Just to see what it was like. And
she knows what she want to do.
But I taught her how to ask questions and to talk to those people. Let her ask her own questions, not me.
Yep.
And they listen to her.
Exactly.
So if she decided today, you know what, Dad, I don't want to go to college. Okay, cool. Which one you gonna do?
because you have enough faith that you've shown her enough where if she says she don't want to go to college, it's because she's made an educated decision.
Yes.
But like you say, okay, well, you got 3 options left. You took college off the table.
And you can put it back on if you want to.
You put it back on, but you say you took it off the table. That means you're going to work, going to trade, going to the military. Not going to work. That's the long, hard route.
Yep.
I did that route.
Uh-huh.
Don't take I'm telling you up front as your parent, don't take the harder way. Yeah. Please don't take the harder way. You can get here, but you ain't gonna like it.
No. No.
Take one of them easier ways, please. I look back at my life, man. I could be sitting exactly where I am
Mhm.
And I went to the military out of high school. I could be sitting here right now with a check for the rest of my life and doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, retired.
Yeah. So don't take this route.
And even me as an educator, you know, and they always say educators don't get paid as much as they should. And you know what? That's true. It's true.
I agree.
But I tell you what I do get.
What's that?
Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, summer vacation. So I get to be home with my kids all summer. I can wait till the last day of May. I can leave my house and not come back until August and still be straight.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And then I retire when you put in 25, 30 years, you retired.
Yep.
And you still young.
Still young. All right, man. Thank y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed what we had this morning. For joining us for another episode of the Book of Man. We're gonna be here every week for different topics and discussions. Remember, like, share, comment, let us know what we're doing, let us know if we're talking right or talking crazy. We appreciate y'all, we love y'all, we out.
Later.